This is a video key for solving a system of equations using substitution. So for this problem, you can see that we have one equation that's written in slope-intercept form, y equals 6x plus 8, and the other is written in a different form, which is called standard form, and you'll learn that in algebra. So since we're solving using substitution, this one's easily set up for that because we have one of these equations written as a variable equal to an expression with the other variable. So it's just y all by itself here. So if we have y equals something or x equals something, we can easily use substitution. So since we have y equal to 6x plus 8, I know that y is equal to that expression. So since y equals 6x plus 8, anywhere I see y, I can substitute in the expression 6x plus 8. So that's how I'm going to be able to combine these equations, is because I see a y in the second equation. So I can substitute in this expression 6x plus 8 in for y into the second equation. So I'm going to go ahead and number these equations so we can keep track of what we're doing here. And so what I'm going to do is take equation number 2 and substitute in the expression 6x plus 8 in for y. So I'm going to write 3x, and so I'm writing exactly what I see, except where there's a y, I'm going to substitute in 6x plus 8. So 3x minus 4 now instead of y, and we have to use parentheses because this whole thing has to be multiplied by the coefficient of negative 4 because it's negative 4 times y, and y is all of this, so we have to use parentheses. So negative 4, and then instead of y, 6x plus 8. And then I finish out the equation equals 52. So you can see that it's this equation with y replaced with this expression. Now look, I have an equation that has only one variable, so I can solve it. So I combine those two equations using substitution. So let's finish solving. Because we have parentheses, we have to use the distributive property. Now, we have to be careful here because the number on the outside of the parentheses gets distributed to both of the terms inside, but this number on the outside is actually negative. So when you have the subtraction sign here, you have to remember to distribute the negative. The easiest way to do that is to actually change this subtraction into adding a negative. So now I can see that I'm distributing a negative 4. So we'll distribute a negative 4 to both the 6x and the 8. So for our next step, I'm just going to bring down the 3x because nothing changes with that. And then negative 4 times 6x is negative 24x. So you can write that as adding a negative 24x or just minus a positive 24x. Subtracting a positive is the same thing as adding a negative, so either way you write it is fine. I just like to write it as subtracting a positive. And now negative 4 times 8 is negative 32, so I'm just going to write that as subtracting a positive 32. And then write the rest of the equation equals 52. Okay, so now I use the distributive property to get rid of those parentheses. Now I have 3 terms on the left side. So I do have 2 terms that are called like terms. So 3x and negative 24x are like terms because they both are terms with just x to the first power. So I can combine them since they're on the same side. So we're just going to combine them. So we just need to figure out what 3x minus 24x is. So 3x minus 24x is negative 21x. So there's no like adding 24x to both sides of the equation because they're already on the same side, so you just combine them. So this is positive, this is negative. Add them together, 3x plus a negative 24x, or you can look at it as just 3x minus 24x. Either way, it simplifies to be negative 21x. All right, now we're going to copy down the minus 32 equals 52. And now we have an easy equation to solve. All the variables are on the left side, so let's get rid of everything else. So we're going to add 32 to both sides. And that zeroes out the negative 32 there, leaving us with negative 21x on that left side, equal to 52 plus 32 is 84. Now remember, you have a calculator, so don't worry about doing this in your head. Our last step, since this is multiplication, is to divide. Now you have to remember to divide by a negative 21. Since that coefficient is negative, you have to divide by a negative. So divide each side by a negative 21. You can pull out your calculator, but x equals 84 divided by negative 21, positive divided by a negative definitely results in a negative, and it's negative 4. So x is equal to negative 4. Okay, just like before, since I've solved for one of the variables, I need to solve for the second variable. So we get to choose either of the original equations to solve for the second variable. Now there is an easier one to use. You may use either of them, but the one that's easiest is equation number 1 because it already has y by itself. So I won't have a final step of dividing by anything. If you use equation number 2, you will have a final step of trying to get rid of this negative 4, so you'd have to divide by a negative 4. So it's just less work if we use equation number 1, but you can use equation number 2 if you want. I'll go ahead and use equation number 1. So y is equal to, and then 6, and now instead of x, we substitute in negative 4 because I know that's what x is equal to, and then write the rest of the equation plus 8. And now we just evaluate. So y equals, multiplication first, 6 times negative 4 is negative 24, and negative 24 plus 8 is negative 16. So y is equal to negative 16. My final step is to check. So let's check. Remember, you have to check it into the other equation. Since I used equation number 1 to solve for the second variable, I already know that negative 4, negative 16 works for equation number 1. So I need to make sure it works for equation number 2. So I'm just going to write equation number 2, but instead of x, I'm going to substitute in negative 4 because that's my answer for x. Minus 4, instead of y, I'm going to substitute in negative 16 because that's what my answer is for y. And is that really equal to 52? So I need to use my question mark because I'm not really sure if I'm right yet. Okay, the right side, there's nothing to do, so you just carry down the 52. Left side, we need to evaluate. Make sure you follow order of operations. Multiplication, so 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Now, since these two operations are separated by subtraction, I can go ahead and do both of them at the same time. But I am going to treat the minus 4 as a negative 4. So I'm going to add the product of negative 4 and negative 16. Negative 4 times negative 16 is a positive 64. And is that really equal to 52? And then negative 12 plus 64, yes, is equal to 52. Now, to help check your math and make sure you're not making any silly mistakes with adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers, you can just enter all this in on a calculator if you have like a graphing calculator, or if you put it on Google or Desmos or something like that. It will always follow order of operations. It will always give you the right answer. So I suggest doing it by yourself, but if you get something that's wrong, you might want to check your order of operations or use a calculator to check. Or that means that something went wrong before if your check doesn't work out. But since our check did work out, 52 equals 52, then our final answer we write as a coordinate point. So it's going to be our x comes first, so negative 4, then our y, negative 16. And if you want to be fancy and use solution sets, we can do that as well. And that's our final answer. And that's it. Thanks for watching.